Hi everybody, here I am. I talked to myself, it didn't work. I think I now figured out what was wrong. I can see that actually the sunlight is on me here, which it shouldn't be. So I'm going to sit a bit back. Hopefully it's better. If it goes off again on the public page, it's again, the light is too strong. I'm sorry about that. Let me turn it around a bit. Then please WhatsApp me on 072 880 7904 so that I can start again. I welcome you all to my online live with me today on the full moon on this day, 27th of February, 2021. So what does a full moon mean to us? We're more intuitive. We are more aligned to our feelings. We might be ungrounded. We might feel more emotional, and often we're more sensitive to certain allergens. We're more confused. We're more emotional in general, and we can actually replenish our energies if we sit outside in the moonlight, and we can connect better with our femininity, with our spiritual vibration, and we can even see as a cleansing, like the sunlight, the moonlight is a lot of cleansing. So keep it in mind that also you could be easier affected by alcohol or smoking or any kind of drugs that should be best avoided. Let me just see here that I also stream you live, that I see the chats. It is really quite a thing here. So I see a few people love your show. Thank you, Thea Winterbach-Stein. So I see a few people on here now, and I hope that you can see me clearly. So I'm going to do this all again. Please WhatsApp me when it is gone, or should it be gone, or if it's not there. So yes, I will start again. So have a happy full moon tonight, and I will do a few predictions here that also have a message in general for everybody. First of all, I want to speak about illness, and it was all about Colleen Rothman Ellis. You went through the second time with chemotherapy and with treatments in cancer, and I want to say to you that cancer is an illness. Thank you, Sue Van Eck. I can see now that that is working as well. So let's hope that the second time is the second time lucky. So, Colleen, I'm so sorry you have to go through this journey with cancer and with chemotherapy and all of that. But I also need to say to you that cancer is an illness which we have when we have not learned to really nurture ourselves, when we have not learned to take care of ourselves, and when we suppress our emotions. Hi, Anza Janse Verführing. I see you as well. Ansi Solomon. And I feel what is very important, Colleen, is that you realize it's all about you connecting with your spirituality, connecting with your own self-love, connecting with inner spirit and with your soul purpose to who you are, what you are, and that you do not make compromises for other people, but that you live for a purpose, that you find your purpose as well. And so far, that you have a good look at where do you want to spend your time? Where do you want to spend your energies? What do you really want from life? Because cancer is a very severe illness, and when you had chemotherapy, it obviously also destroys a lot of the healthy cells, and it asks of you that you really find a new way of life and living, and a new way of joy, and a new way of nurturing yourself, and really not expecting anybody else to take care of you, but to take care of yourself. So it's also not only in health and exercising and having positive thoughts, but the positive thoughts don't help a lot unless we make choices. Positive choices. Positive choices will bring positive karma as consequence. In other words, cancer thrives on sugar and red meat. So it's important that you really live more healthy and that you maybe go and see a natural healer, a health practitioner, that you start exercising, that you sleep more, that you love more, that you laugh more, and that you trust that you can move into a greater consciousness, into a greater awareness, because it's all about any illness can be pain and suffering, which I've also endured many times in my life. But any illness, any disease brings us to a more spiritual way of living if we see it as a breakdown to then have a breakthrough. Also be very aware that we do not just get COVID, or we do not just get cancer, or we do not just get TB, or the flu, or a cold, or Parkinson's. Our vibration, which is a spiritual vibration, an energetic vibration, vibrates on a certain frequency. And when it's on a certain frequency, the same as COVID or cancer or diabetes, will we have that dis-ease in the body. We are never not responsible to what happens to us, because it doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. So even if we lose our life, in other words, the physical body dies, it would be advisable to use any disease to grow spiritually and closer to divine force, and to use prayer, meditation, quiet time, music, healing baths, aromatherapies, healthy eating, raw veggies, raw fruit, a healthier way of life to heal the body and the soul from any frequency that is not what you would like in your life. So any dis-ease in the body is a wake-up call to another lifestyle or to another way of life and to different choices. Because if you live the same life as before, you will have cancer again. Unless it's a karmic illness, then one most likely dies of it. But that doesn't mean that you throw the towel in, but that you really change your life around. Because even sometimes with small steps of changes, do we create positive karma and we make changes for our life and therefore for our health or for our well-being. Enough of this. I want to go to the next person, and it's 18 minutes past 18. So that's quite nice to see, because that's synchronicity. And the next person that I want to speak to is Toby and Debbie Lombard. And you asked me whether it's enough to think positively about a business. No, a business, any kind of business that we have, hopefully it's your passion. Hopefully it's a challenge, because our actions only will create positive consequences. In other words, our actions will create a positive business and a running business. And we always need to be thinking outside the box, especially after 2020. Hi, Johan Meyer, and also Annalene Baker or Bakker. So really, to just think positive about business doesn't make any influence, doesn't change anything, because any kind of business, whatever it is, any kind of profession that you have and where you're busy with, is active input and very often plain hard work and consistent work and consistent new studying, new developments, looking into new directions, learning new things, being able to also contribute to society, having goals, which goals is not by itself enough, because we need to know what we also want to do for the bigger good and see the bigger picture of our business, what we want to do differently. So, Toby and Debbie, you gave me a date of birth of 26/6/71, and that is definitely, for whoever it is here, is a new beginning. So it's very important that you look at your business from a different kind of perspective, because with 2021, like you all know, we definitely knew and we definitely know that we need to be more techno savvy. We need to do more research. We need to know that we need to make a difference. We need to know that we have to put in more energy, have more patience with people, and know that we are all in this together, and that it is not an easy year to make money, and to solely just make money will not really make you happy. So it needs to be more than just earning a living, and that we try and create also to live a balance in our career and our personal life. Adele Bepina Stone, you said that you struggle getting grounded. Adele, that is at the moment a problem with a lot of people, and especially during this time also of the full moon. I found myself to be extremely emotional this morning, depleted and ungrounded, so far so that I, for a split second, also forgot my PIN number. I hope it's still working. No, it's fine. It's still working, so I see you coming up there. So what I'm saying here, Adele, is being grounded means that we often go into the garden, that we water our garden, that we definitely stay practical, that we stay with our thoughts in the now, that we stay focused on whatever we are doing in the moment, not being multitasking, because nobody can multitask. That's a proven fact. And especially with technology and looking at different technologies like the iPhone or my laptop or my iPad is not wise. But when you put your focus on something that you're doing, then stay focused on that and on nothing else. So also have your plan for each and every day, so that you really stay realistic, that you stay in the moment, that you stay in what is important today, that you put that down into a calendar, that you're very practical, that you're realistic, because it's not okay to stay in the emotions and just be confused and just be thrown around like a piece of wood, but that you really make sure that you're grounded and that you're eating regularly, that you drink enough water, that you get rest in between, and that you have a good night rest. Because when we don't sleep, we cannot re-energize ourselves, because we have a physical body that needs re-energizing, and then we get depleted. And in other words, also our mind, our mental capacity is going to not be at its best. So also realize that you need a good balance of starch, protein, vitamins, minerals, in other words, fruit, veggies, starches, proteins, and that you need good supplements to actually help you have enough energy to feed your physical body. And also exercises, Adele, because exercises are vital to keep you grounded and keep you healthy in a physical body. Belinda Jansen, you asked me that you're mentally and physically tired. Yes, a lot of people are at the moment, and especially because we were all traumatized with 2020 in some other way. So we're all in this together, and in a way we're very depleted, because it has been a very difficult year last year. And still, we live very much in fear. Many people live in fear of this virus, because we allow ourselves to be indoctrinated by media, by other people, by the whole ruling of the word, which dehumanizes us completely by staying disconnected and being scared of our fellow man. Really, people, stop believing other people's truth or other people's words or what they actually try and do with humanity. Make up your mind whether you are living healthy, whether you're taking healthy supplements, whether you're wanting to be connected to certain people. Choose that you want to go back to being connected to people, loving people, being careful, but being caring, and also going about your life that you know you will not get sick unless you really vibrate and your frequency is really into panic, fear, and that will attract any kind of virus, any kind of bacteria, because every year everybody sort of has the flu or a cold because it cleanses also the body. Obviously, this virus is harsh, and if you are a heavy smoker or you have a lung disease or you're not healthy in general, you're easier prone to die of it or really be sick of it. So really be careful that your frequency is higher up. And when I ask my angels today to give me a message or to help me, because I have been very depleted, very tired, and they say that it's a side effect of COVID, is extreme tiredness after people have had the virus or were exposed to the virus. And a lady in the health shop said to me, buy yourself some iron. Don't take the ashwagandha anymore because it makes you dizzy, because I've been having vertigo, extreme vertigo, and I didn't know where it came from. So it could have been that I took the wrong supplement, which is ashwagandha, which is normally very good for stress. And I bought liquid iron, which is liquid iron with vitamin C. And I'm amazed that after the first sachet, I felt ready to do this video. You're still on my chat line here. Marty Bernardi, Hesselman, welcome. Sufa Ek as well. And Sue, at the moment, a move wouldn't be good for you because you're really in a year where there are a lot of illusions and delusions, and you will make a move where you will most probably be disappointed in the end because it will take time, it will be not the right thing. Maybe you need to find home first within yourself, Marty Bernardi Hesselman, and not move, because you might find that when you move, you take yourself along and you don't change anything besides the location and the people around you. So do not move this year, if at all you can, because it will bring many challenges and it is most probably not the right move. All right, let me get back to who I prepared here. Charmaine and Dunmat, you asked me, you are too scared to move on. Nobody can help anybody else to make changes. And if you're not prepared to take chances and take risks to have a happier life, then you will stay where you have been and nothing will change. So it is very important that one realizes that if you do not change by making choices and making changes, nothing else will change. Only positive karma can be created by making positive choices. And it's actually better to make a choice and make a decision and take action than not to take action, because even with a so-called failure or misstep, can we get up and we can try again and we can learn from our sort of mistake or our learning lesson here, and we can move forward and we can make better moves. The same is for relationships. if you have been living relationships like myself, very much with people that depleted you or were abusive and lived off you emotionally and financially, then you don't have to come to a certain age in your life where you say, I don't want to love anymore and I'm too cynical and nothing else can come into my life, because it's up to you to look at your pattern from the past and say, this is what I always did and it didn't serve me. And from there on, make different decisions and take different actions to change the partners that you attract into your life. So it's always up to you. The responsibility is always with you, whether you will have a better job or a better career or a better life or better health or better relationship or more joy in your life is 100% your responsibility. So to act is better than not to act. To sit on the fence will not bring you anything, but to make changes, even small steps every day, will most likely change your life, and sometimes in a big way. So I, Charmaine, also often think that we need to say, is this really serving me? Am I really happy in this situation? Did I sign up for this? And if you haven't, and if you're not happy, then most probably the people in your life are also not happy. And then it's best to actually move on, because nobody else is responsible for your happiness, for your health and your well-being, but you yourself. And Charmaine and Danmar, you also very easily move into victimhood or martyrdom. In other words, you play helpless, you play the victim, you think life happens to you, you have no choices, which is all BS, because it's all in your capacity, and we all have the power to make changes for ourselves, because when we do, we empower ourselves, we have more energy to live, we take back our life force, we move forward, and we gain new ground, we start a new life journey. And mostly I feel when we live with prayer and faith, we will have the life force and the protection and God's protection to actually live a better life, because we don't give up. We work hard, we find a new way, and we stay positive, because nobody is supposed to be living in suffering and pain. That is not what God intended for us. So the next one is Darlene Besaidnos. Your purpose in life, Darlene, is to empower yourself. And what that means is that you actually need an own business, or needing to be a manager of a business to really live your own power, which is not a negative thing, but a positive thing, because living your own power means that you incorporate all your talents, all your possibilities, that you know you have the strength to really live your life. Because in later life, from the age of about 52, 53, you were supposed to having financial freedom, your own business, living your own power, in other words, being the boss of your own business. So that is part of your purpose in life. And if you're not there, then it's high time that you get there. And sometimes life brings changes which seem unpleasant, even shocking, like we lose a job, although we didn't like that job for 4 years. We are suddenly all in awe, and we don't know why this is happening to us, and we blame God for this, and we blame the economy for this, instead of looking at it and saying, this is a blessing in disguise, because this now pushes me into bringing out my strength and living my purpose in life. I want to say to Adele Roers, you asked me whether you're destined for great things. And when I looked at your life purpose, I want to say to you, you need to live your own truth. You learn a lot through other cultures, through traveling a lot, through moving a lot, through living in different countries, even a travel business, having other cultures, learning through other people, being very much a free person, living your own spirituality, finding your own spiritual path, and contributing to society, because in a way you're very intuitive, very creative. So whatever you do needs to be in serving humanity if you're then destined for great things. And this year says you need to actually study extra, study more. And if you would study something like, for instance, any spiritual subject, or Akashic records, how to read the Akashic records, or how to do body talk, or how to do equine therapy, anything that has to do with people, with connecting to people, with serving people, doing it on your own, doing it for community, not just family, but community and humanity, then you will open up a bigger, a more greater destiny and a greater serving to humanity. So that doesn't come by itself. Although you're connected to spirit, it's something that needs practice, needs hard work, needs action. It doesn't come by itself. The fried chicken doesn't fly into our mouths. We need to act. We need to work. We need to put in the work. We need to put in the effort. We need to look at different ways. We have no excuses. If we want to make a bigger impact in our lives, we need to work for it. There is no getting away from that, unfortunately. Yes, Lila Lily, hi to you. Sue van Eck, I also see you here. Hi to everybody that is joining in on the stream chat. Alette de Waal, how do you find your soul's purpose? Alette, very important this year is that you basically really find your own spiritual path. You will be quite confused. You will very easily be deceived as well if you don't have contracts in place and if you don't grant yourself properly. So, forgive me, pardon. So really look at it and take this year to really get in touch with your spiritual and with your soul, in connecting more to nature, connecting more to having meditation time, prayer time, to go for walks in nature, to connect to water, to really make time for spirit, to really make time for that inner voice that comes through when we're not rushing around and being in panic or fearing anything, but when we make time to nurture ourselves, when we make time for ourselves, because when we make time for self, there's more time for the other things. And Alette, you very much want to have financial freedom as you go along, and the older you get, which means you need to think in terms of how can you create financial freedom for yourself, but also with a bigger picture in mind, which says, how can I create freedom in my life and financial freedom in my life, but have a bigger picture, which means that you also need to really look at it and how far do you contribute to society. And most people in 1979 have a life mission of very much specialization, either even figures or health or beauty or engineering or a certain technique that they use. So it's very much specialization and being precise and being detailed. It could even be a PA to a manager, or into the health industry or hospitality industry, or into the beauty industry or engineering or something very technical. But it's pretty much with detail in mind. They can never look at the bigger picture and say, well, I'm just going with the flow, because that won't work. But in the same sense, perfection is ego. So by doing something to the best of your capabilities and being specialized is very important with your life mission, Alette. So look at that, and if you're not into that line of work where you do something specialized, then it's time that you look at it and that you actually, after this year, look at changing and how you actually want to put that in place. And believe me, a business is not built within 1 year, as Rome wasn't really built in 1 day. So I want to leave it at that and just want to round off because we're already busy for 30 minutes. Suzette Jacobs, you asked me how you connect with your angels, and I want to round off this live video with the angels and divine forces and spheres of protection. When we pray, prayer is an activity. So prayer is a choice that we make when we pray every day for protection, for no pain and suffering. And basically the Jabez prayer is fulfilling all the areas that you would like to pray for, like enlarge my territory, where I always put all my family into the territory, and then my work and the people that I work with every single day, I put into enlarge my territory. And then you pray for the blessing. You ask for God to basically give you protection, and that nobody can harm you, and that you're protected. And in the end, you say, may this come true, or may this be. In other words, you know that this will be like this because you prayed for it. So you do not doubt life force. You do not doubt divine force, i.e. God, or whatever you want to call the universe, is giving you that protection. And you, with positive action, like meditation, prayer, reading your Bible, or reading a spiritual book, whichever way is your direction spiritually, is an action which you need to practice to have protection, because nobody else can protect you but you with your actions. And you are responsible for your own light, for your own frequency, for what you attract towards yourself and what you put out there. And the choices that you make will deliver your life, will deliver you with your life. Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else can do anything to you, because the outside circumstances are only our challenges. We cannot change the outside circumstances. They will be there all the time. We will also all die one day. We all have lost loved ones, but we need to live and take action for our own joy and for our own light and for our own focus, what we want to achieve in this lifetime. And sometimes it's not about a higher calling. Sometimes it's just, how do you respond? How little do you take other people's stuff personal? How much kindness do you want to see in the world? Because you're the first one that needs to put it out there. I wish you all well. If you want to make a booking with me, please go to my website, which is mariettatiernison.com. You can book online and you can pay online, or you can WhatsApp me on 072 880 7904 in office hours, please. All the best. Have a wonderful full moon evening. Put all your crystals outside because they will be cleansed. Go and sit and have a look at the moon because that's cleansing too. And I wish you a wonderful weekend.